What is up, Quamii Dollz? It's your girl coming back with another video. Today, I guess I'm going to be doing a story time video for you guys. Before I get into this video, make sure y'all like, comment, share, subscribe. Make sure you have your post notification. Make sure you have your post notifications on so you will see every time that I post a new video. Tonight's story time is going to be about me and my ex. Everybody who follows me, who knows me, who follows me and lives in Brunswick, who are real close to me, everybody know my ex. I don't think I'm gonna say his name. Just for the people who don't know me like that, I'm not gonna say his name. We got together. It was kind of like a perfect, I guess you could say it was kind of like a perfect like Christmas gift. We got together December 24th of 2011. I was so in love with this boy. When I tell you I was in love with him, like I thought he was my life. I thought he was my world. I looked at our relationship kind of as like a blessing because my aunt had just passed a couple months prior. My aunt had just passed in October of 2011, and I was having a real hard time coping with that. So I was in college around that time, you know what I'm saying? I met him on Facebook. And you know, you guys, when you meet somebody on Facebook, you don't really take it seriously. I met him on Facebook. He was just like, hey, he introduced himself. He asked for my number. He was like, oh, so I see that you're single. And I was like, no, I ain't single, you know, not trying to sound all super desperate and available and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, no, I'm not single, because really at the time I wasn't single. I had this weird relationship with some dude that lived in the town that I was in for school or whatever. So it just so happened that he messaged me a couple weeks before it was time for me to come home for winter break. So I told him, I was like, yeah, you know, I come home such and such date, because it was close to Christmas. I'm like, I'll be home in a few weeks. I think really it was a few days. I think I was actually coming home that next week. So I was like, yeah, I told him the day I was coming home. When I finally got home, I didn't hit him up until it was almost time for me to leave. Because mind you, in my mind, I'm still thinking, this ain't real. This dude don't like me. Whatever. So I hit him up like a day or two before it was time for me to go. And we hung out. And it was so crazy. Instantly, it was like, he is so sweet. He is so cute. Oh my God. I was in love with him. I think that was like the first time I ever believed in like the love at first sight type shit. I was drop dead in love with him. Like, we talked every day. He had a real like hush type job. He worked for the government, and we really couldn't see each other that much. And on top of that, I was just trying to finish that semester of school. Like, this was Christmas time, so that means I was only out for a couple weeks, and I had to go back in January. It wasn't like the summer where you have like a couple months off. So we met, we got together, we spent Christmas together. I want to say we spent Christmas Eve together, and we weren't able to spend Christmas together. And I think we spent New Year's together, New Year's Eve. Matter of fact, we spent New Year's Eve together. He had came to the house. Some way, somehow, I got sick. I think I had food poisoning, because you know your girl always eating something. And I guess I ate up on something that I wasn't supposed to be eating. And I got food poisoning. He actually came over to see me, and it was so sweet. He came over to see me. I had warned them. Now, I brushed my teeth before, but I had warned them. I was like, I've been sick all day. I've been throwing up. He still gave me a kiss. Like, I was in love with him. I ain't lying. So we hung out or whatever that night. And I think that was kind of like the last time we hung out before I had to go back to school. And I was going to school like 2.5 hours away. I didn't have a car back then, so it's not like I could just come home when I wanted to. But I was in college, and like, since I was so close to my hometown, and my mom was working for the public school system, so anytime she had some time off, or the kids was getting out for, you know, for a break or whatever, for a vacation, or like, you know, a holiday or something, she would come get me. And I had it set up to where I didn't have classes on Friday, so anytime she wanted to come get me, she could have came and got me on Friday, so I could have spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in town. So we spent a lot of time together, as much as possible. He used to call me every single night while I was at school. At a certain time, every single night, all my friends knew when I got that phone call, y'all asses had to go. It was like, y'all had to go. So we was together for about a year before I actually moved back to our hometown. And actually, rewind. When I went back to school, I went back in January, and I came back to Brunswick in February. I actually came back to Brunswick in February of 2012. I think February, a little bit after Valentine's Day, is when I actually first met his mom. That's when I finally went to his house and hung out, and it was beautiful. His mom made the best breakfast, and it's crazy that I still remember all this, but I was head over heels in love with him. But yes, a little bit, I think, like I said, a little bit after Valentine's Day is when I went and met his mom. I thought that this relationship was like gonna be like the best thing since freaking sliced bread, because his mom knew my dad and his stepdad knew my dad. So I'm like, great, your parents already know my family with my dad, and you know, I thought it was gonna be cool. You know, all in all, our relationship was good. We didn't really start fighting and arguing and having problems until we moved in together. And I kind of think that we moved in together. We were together for about 2 years before we moved in together. But I still think that, seeing the fact that we had so much space in between us, so much time apart, where we wasn't even in the same city, I really think that we moved in together too soon, and that could play a big part of a relationship just crumbling. But yeah, like, let's see, we used to hang out all the time when we had time to. When we moved in together, fast forward like 2 years from there, we moved in together. We had a little small duplex on the south end of Brunswick. You couldn't tell us nothing because we just thought we was in there like swimwear. We finally had our own place. It was my first place. I think it was his second place, but it was my first apartment. You know, we never had to be apart pretty much. And that could be a good thing and that could be a bad thing. You know, when you spend a whole bunch of time with somebody, and when y'all, it'd be good in the beginning, but when y'all start bumping heads and y'all in the same room, because we was in, I wouldn't even call it a duplex, we were in an efficiency style apartment where we had a big living room that split in half. Half of it was the living room, half of it was the bedroom. So we pretty much slept in the same room. You know, we there 24/7 half the time when we're not working. It's just when problems arise, bump heads. So fast forward past that, we had a lot of issues when we lived together the first time, Then we separated. We didn't separate in a relationship, we just separated living situations. We moved out of that apartment. I moved back with my parents. He moved, I think, with his parents. Then he got his own place. I want to say that's afterwards. I don't know if that's before or after. I want to say it was after. He got his own place. We spent a lot of time together. We actually broke up. Oh God, I was horrified when we broke up. We broke up because he felt like this was the first time we broke up. We broke up because he felt like I wasn't happy. He felt like he didn't have enough time for a relationship. Then we got back together. And I think in the time that he had his own place, we wasn't together. We were still talking. We were trying to fix stuff, but we wasn't really in a relationship. Then fast forward from him having that place, he moved back with his mom. I was still living with my parents. Then fast forward, I'm not really going into detail because everybody don't need to know our business. Fast forward a couple years from then, we got another apartment. Second time living together, we were thinking that, you know, we done lived together one time before. Maybe this will be a little bit better. We argued so bad. We had already broke up twice before we moved in our last apartment. We argued so bad. And at the time when you're in it, you can't really see your wrong and your part of it. You just want to make it feel like, oh, it's all them, it's all them, it's all them, it's all them. I'm not doing anything wrong. It's all them. He's the reason why we're not working. No, that's how I was feeling in the moment. Because like I said, in the moment, you don't really see what's really going on. I would say now we've been broken up for what? We broke up May, what was it? I know this date like a back of my fucking hand. May 16th, 2016. I think it was the 16th because that's the day that we had to move out of our second apartment. We broke up May 16th, 2016. And we really wasn't even supposed to break up. I had already said that once it was time for us to move out of our apartment, I was going to Savannah to go stay with a friend because I didn't want to have to pack up my bags and move back with my mama once again, because I didn't want to keep moving out, coming back, moving out, coming back. Like, no, I don't want to live off of mama and daddy for the rest, for like forever. So I moved to Savannah and he stayed in Brunswick. And we would talk every single day when I initially moved. But then I met somebody, and really I think I only was like even giving the dude that I met the time of day because I couldn't be with my ex. Because he was way back in Brunswick and I was an hour and 15 minutes away in Savannah. So I started talking to the new guy, thinking it would help me get over my ex. It didn't. My ex found out. I told him that I was talking to somebody else. So he found somebody else. And I think that's the girl that he found when we initially broke up is the girl that he's with today. Moral of the story is relationships are hard, okay? There's no perfect relationship. But make sure you always take your time as far as getting to know someone. Make sure you take your time as far as moving in with someone. Make sure when y'all have issues, y'all actually talk it out, because it was a lot of miscommunications between me and him. It was a lot of arguments that could have been avoided. It was a lot of things that I did that could have really been avoided, like what happens between you and that person is supposed to stay between you and that person. And I had it bad to go and vent to my friends and vent to my mom and my parents about if it was some things that he did that I didn't like. I would just go and vent and talk to my parents about it. and that kind of altered how they felt about him. That altered how they felt about him in their mind. So he could tell that they didn't like him, so that made him distant. He never wanted to come over. They were mad because he wouldn't come over. So it was just a lot that went on in that relationship that really could have been avoided. At the end of the day, we have been broken up for about 2 years and some months. We are kind of cordial, I guess you could say. He has his girlfriend. I'm living my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm a traveler. I'm a traveling nurse. I was in a relationship. I really don't take relationships that serious right now. Yeah, like right now I'm just doing me, living for me. But it's kind of just like, I can't say that we are friends, but I can't say that we are enemies. We just don't talk. And I mean, a lot of people, some people are like, well, how can you be with somebody for almost 5 years and when y'all break up, y'all just don't talk? I would say it's because a lot of the times I still have feelings, but he didn't have feelings. Or maybe he had feelings, but he was in a relationship that he wasn't willing to give up to try to figure out if the feelings were worth it or not, which I can definitely understand that. But yeah, like I said, we're not enemies, but we're not on the level where we can like talk regular. It was a big blow up between me, him, his girlfriend, and my brother, to where she was mad because I would still talk to him. I still told him that I still have feelings for him. And like, it was a big hoopla. But yeah, like, you have to let go of the things that are not for you. But yeah, so that was my story time about me and my ex. Like I say, a lot of my subscribers are not from Georgia. A lot of my subscribers do not know me personally. That is why I'm not dropping names.